Alrighty, folks, it is official. According to Lance Lambert, Seattle, Washington is the worst housing market in the country. It currently is beating out Denver, Colorado, which did have the top spot for a long time. Seattle housing market is down 2%, just over 2% year on year. Is this a sign that the tech industry is leaving? Is this a sign that the Seattle mayor is a complete dumpster fire? Is this just the beginning? Is Seattle going to experience the Austin, Texas 20+% loss, or some of the Florida markets down 20%? It could get ugly in Seattle. But you know what? We have a top 1% real estate agent in the country, and she's going to let us know what's happening on the ground. Is it destined to collapse, or is it just a blip? What say you, Beth?
All right. Are you throwing fuel on the dumpster fire? So
it's entertaining to throw from afar. Yes, I'll just put my hands up and get warm.
So is the market down here? Like, well, yes, it is. 2%, meh. Okay. Yeah. You know, things are still selling here.
Is it the start of something worse, right?
You're on the start of something worse? I don't think so. I feel like that already, like the 2% down is the worst. You know, like normally this time of year is when we're seeing our biggest gains year over year. You know, annually, normally we would see, I don't know, 5% or so year over year, et cetera. What I'm seeing now is, I'm not going to lie or sugarcoat. I always call things like it is. So, I mean, I think the best real estate agents make it work regardless of what the market is. You know, like we adapt and we advise our clients on how to accomplish their goals, whatever the market is bringing at that time, whether it's up, down, sideways. You know, it's our job to just tell it like it is and help make deals happen regardless.
Yep.
So yes, while I am a real estate professional, I'm not one of those hype people. It's always going to say everything is fantastic and all of that. So, I mean, like there has been an impact. Mostly we started seeing it last year with the tech layoffs, and that seems to be where this is coming from. There's a lot of talk about the millionaires tax, which you and I had chatted about before, which is just the spin name for the income tax that they're trying to, that actually is enacted in Washington. I think there's going to be a fight back on that because our state constitution does not allow for income tax, but yet they got this millionaire tax through. That short version of that is basically if your taxable income is over $1 million a year, then the amount over that gets taxed.
Sounds like an income tax to me.
Right. How is that not an income tax? I don't know, you know, but the courts will be fighting over that, I'm sure. But in the meantime, is that going to make some people leave? I mean, undoubtedly some will. So
let's not forget about
much of the market. But the vast majority of the people that live in, and when they say Seattle, I don't know if they're going off Case-Shiller or what, but Case-Shiller uses not just Seattle, which is King County, but they use, they last I checked, they were looping Tacoma in there too, which is a completely different market to the south that has nothing to do with any of these other tech, I mean, a much lesser impact on that market. And then also the county north of us, which has Everett. So it's like there's a whole massive area that they all call Seattle.
Gotcha. It's
not just Seattle. So the greater, bigger area. So, but where I am seeing the biggest hit is on the east side. So in King County, we've got the Seattle proper city of Seattle. And then you've got East Side, which is the suburbs that were more affluent, higher price point. That has been, there was a very quick correction this spring where normally we talk a lot about the seasonality where it starts early here.
Yeah.
Meaning late to mid-January, we know what's going to be happening in the market. And we were just starting to see new inventory come on. It was starting to pop a bit. We were getting some multiple offers, a few bidding wars, nothing crazy. And then as soon as the Iran news dropped, boom, everything it killed our spring market, which was painful, no doubt, because last year it was ruined by the tariff announcement. I wish the timing of these announcements could be made a little differently, please. Could you not screw up our market 2 years in a row?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I don't get political, okay? So this is not that. But but the truth is that is what when that news dropped, that stopped our market. So
just a couple of quick things. One, you're pounding the table because you're passionate. I can hear it. so the audience can hear it too.
Sorry.
So that's all
I
right.
get a little
Yeah, you get a little passion. It's okay.
sometimes.
We like passion, but
Okay.
don't do that.
No pounding.
But it does to me, again, as an outsider, and thank you for being here every week. So I get the pulse of Seattle. It does feel like Seattle and really the state of Washington is kind of having a 1, 2, 3 punch, right? You have the tech layoffs, which obviously dent psychology because again, a lot of the buyers have liquidity in stocks. You do have this millionaire tax, which explicitly calls out your top earners and business owners. That can't be fun. And then you've got this crazy socialist mayor who's basically saying bye to wealth. It's like, in my opinion, not yours, but it does seem like success and wealth is under attack in Seattle. And again, I don't know why socialists don't get this. Millionaires, the rich, the wealthy, whatever you want to call them, they have options. They're mobile. They can move. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I know. So I have to say, sometimes I feel like I'm under attack too. So
I'm sure.
I get it, especially somebody who owns assets. And as a landlord, I felt like I've been under attack for years. I've been villainized like all other housing providers for years, so that's nothing new. But the interesting thing is that, we've been seeing less impact in the city of Seattle for prices down. So for example, like our April data shows Seattle down 2.55%, which is interesting because and the east side down 5%. I think it has more to do with the tech industry and the things that are happening there. That's what that tells me. But because we are still seeing multiple offers, even with those numbers more on the Seattle side. But they also do a strategy there where it's a risky strategy that they underprice, put the review date, and but you have to have faith and trust that the offers are going to be there on the review date, because if they're not, then you're in a pickle.
Good luck.
So, and that's a risk on the east side that brokers and sellers aren't taking. So you got to price it right out of the chute, and that price is not what it was before. So. Yeah, I'm seeing prices, a lot of list prices coming on now that are in some cases same prices aligned with what we saw 2 years ago. So,
really? Wow. All right. Because when I think about, potentially the worst market in the country, and again, according to Lance Lambert, Seattle has the largest year-on-year drop. So we're going to call that, between friends, the worst market in the country, major market in the country. I always think about it from two sides of the equation. Real estate's really interesting because you always have sellers and buyers, right? It takes both parties to make a transaction. So when I talk about the city and really the state of Washington under attack, that always feels to me like the sellers will feel that first, right? Because these people are business owners. They are 7-figure earners. And if they feel like they're under attack, their decision is quick. They're like, I'm out of this freaking joint. I'm going to Idaho or Texas or wherever they're going to go. Have you seen, maybe just in East Side, are there maybe more sellers because of what's happening? I'll stop there.
Inventory is definitely up, and the reasons vary for why. But I can say, as somebody that works with sellers a lot, is it is a slow process. Like, they can decide quickly, but to actually get the listing on the market takes months and sometimes a year.
But that decision, the decision is important, because once you're like exit mentally, then it's just a series of steps: clean up the house, clean up the clutter, paint the bedrooms, whatever you're going to do. But once they make that decision, it's made. Yeah.
But those for everybody leaving, in order for sale to happen, somebody's buying that house too. So there's that also.
Well, that's where I'm going to next, the buyers. And that's where I'm at a loss. Clearly, you have some buyers that are tied to Seattle, and they'll look at a deal that's 5 or 10% below what they thought and go, hey, that's that's the zip code or the neighborhood I've always wanted to live in, and I couldn't get there. So you're going to have some of those buyers for sure. But where I always go to Seattle is actually at the beginning. It's like, what new tech company, what new business would launch in Seattle? And I cannot imagine being a entrepreneur, software, AI company going, I'm going to start in Seattle because clearly the mayor and the state love me. I just can't imagine who's going to start companies. So Amazon, Microsoft, all of those legacy companies, I just can't imagine the next CEO and founder going, I'm going to Seattle because they're going to treat me well. I just don't see it, Beth.
I know. I don't see that. I do know that they want to go where the talent is. It's from what I'm not an insider to that
For
whole
sure.
world, but
For sure.
and I wonder about the Bay Area too, if that's the same thing, like who
San
would go
Francisco
where.
is popping right now.
It is
on
popping. I saw
fire.
that their prices are way up.
Double digits.
Yeah. So I'm curious what you make of that as somebody who kind of, one of your homes is in that area. Like, what is going on with that? That shocked me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what's happening in San Francisco. And actually, again, I love the fact that I have receipts. I told people a year and a half or 2 years ago, people were going to make $1 billion buying at the bottom of the dumpster fire of San Francisco. Like they had a mayor, I think it was Mayor Breed, that completely lit the city on fire. Not literally like, the mayor in LA, but figuratively, shit on the street, needles on the street, homeless, it was so bad, Beth. I canceled my Warrior season tickets because I couldn't walk from the train to the stadium.
I remember hearing you say that. Yeah.
I was like, I am out. I'm not going to risk my life to go see a freaking basketball game. And it's turned around. And yeah, San Francisco's back on the up. They got rid of that terrible mayor and they brought in Lori, I think his name is Mayor Lori. And yeah, I think San Francisco, it's up 10%, but again, people were buying at the rock bottom. So don't get too excited.
Right. Yeah. You always have to look at the, like it's the whole compared to what, right?
Yes.
So that's interesting because it did take a dip for a while before it came back up. And
18 months or 2 years.
Yeah. Interesting. So, and we have not had any major decline like that. Ours has been a little more gradual. And
just wait a year. See how fucked up the American do it.
So it's always seemed like the Seattle area has trailed San Francisco. It used to be 10 years, but I've seen that kind of gap shrink a little bit where now it might be 5 years or something like that. But it seemed like we always kind of followed behind whatever was happening in the Bay Area. So maybe we're just in a different spot in that cycle, but
again, let's go back to your question because I think that's the right question. Entrepreneurs, business owners are going to go to where the talent is. And, Seattle has always had this unique, outdoorsy, special vibe. It was always a special place. But I do think it's under attack. And if you're going to be successful, I don't think you want to, capital, and that's human capital as well, always goes where it's treated best. And right now, you have socialists in charge and success is not welcomed. It's under attack. So I don't see good things for Seattle. I think Seattle's, my opinion, I think Seattle's worse in a year than it is today.
Well, time will tell. I know you've got a good track record with your predictions. So
yeah, but at the end of the day, coming back to you, I actually think it's going to be very helpful for the top agents. I think this is going to be even a more diverse 80-20, right? The killers, which you are clearly in that camp, are going to gobble up market share because who's going to trust, like in a down market, who are you going to trust? The person that does one deal a year or somebody who's still moving inventory? So I think you're going to clean up. Back to one of your earlier points, you got to roll with the punches, dude. I would just tell you to keep being the machine and the awesome person you are, because you could quite possibly have the best 12 months ahead, and Seattle could be down 5%. Both those statements could be true.
They can be true, and I'm seeing that where the great agents are expanding their market share and doing more and more, and it's because, again, there's always people that need to sell. And if somebody wants to go somewhere else, they have to sell their home. Or if they're retiring, they're getting a divorce, there's a death, and something happened, they have to sell. They're going to go to the people that they see are doing it. And so, and that's always been true, for veterans like me that have been around a long, long time. Like, this is not the first time things have gone really. I remember like the tech bubble bursting was tough. And I remember, the great financial crisis, of course, back in the day, where it was all about short sales and everything. Like you got to adapt and do what the market demands of you. And it's going to be hard sometimes, but people just need to know what it takes. And a lot of people that are selling in the Seattle area, they have a lot of equity in their home. And if they have to shave some of that off, well, so be it, or they just stay, so. And again, we're not there yet. I'm just giving if predictions are something bad happens next year, and things get worse, then that might be where it happened. But also, who knows with the, I don't know with AI and everything, it's unknown how that's going to change things. And with people in the tech field, and there's a lot of people in cybersecurity around here too. And I heard that that's one of the segments that's actually booming. So I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know. Again, we'll let some other people chime in who know a lot more about the tech sector and the jobs and things like that, but they know more than I do. But
well, let us know in the comments, folks. Again, it's fun to play armchair quarterback. I love making predictions because, again, it allows me to test my ability to put together a future puzzle in real time. Let us know, is Seattle going to be worse or better in the next 12 months? Let us know in the comments below. Vote your way to it. Beth, you are amazing. The thing I love about you is not only are you a top 1% agent, but you will introduce people to other top 1% agents in the country. How would somebody reach out to you if they wanted that?
Yeah, so they can reach out to me through my website, bethtraversogroup.com. And you can just Google me too and find me that way. And then
I will put
I'm
your
on
link
school.
on the screen. There it is.
There it is. Yeah. So, and then you can also message me through school if you're a school member. So
yeah, if you're in school and you're not taking advantage of Beth's amazing national network, you're sleeping. All right, Beth, take care. We'll talk in a week.
Thank you.